Yo, what up, my friends? Let's do a power grind video. The thing everybody wants me to do after a big DLC, and it's always pretty similar. So I'm going to try to do my best here to walk you guys through power grinding in general, things you should know regardless of what season or big annual updates going on. And then we'll get into the specifics of this DLC, the Witch Queen. But first, we'll start with just power grinding ideas, things you should know overall in general. And excuse my voice, I've done 30 hours of streaming in the last like 36 or 7 hours, so I'm a little bit exhausted, a little bit rough vocally, but let's just dive right into it. All right, the first thing I want to discuss here is the idea of +0 drops and just efficient grinding overall. If you want to min-max grind and really get the highest power possible, it is gonna take some patience. It is gonna be boring at times, but understanding the basics behind this is really important for effective grinding overall. If you ever, here's a huge tip, if you ever see that you can raise your power without doing a powerful activity, you should do it. Unless you don't care about min-maxing, but please just pretend you care so much about maximum efficiency in this video. Pretend you care so much, then I don't have to say, don't worry if you don't care. You care. You're gonna have to be patient. It's gonna take some time. Let's talk about things for a second. Pretend that all these pieces are 0 power, okay? To make this example really clear. These are all 0 power. In order to get to 1 power overall, these will all have to get to 1 power. There's 8 pieces, right? So if you get 7 of these 8 pieces to 1 power, but your helmet's still 0, you'll still be 0 power. But you'll actually be 7/8 power, right? You'll only be missing 1 item. This is an important thing to understand for power grinding in every season overall, because you can use things like Destiny Item Manager or just do your own math. If you ever look at Destiny Item Manager and see that you're like more of a realistic number here, let's say you're 1530 and 7/8, but you've got a few pieces that are behind 1530, you can definitely get those pieces up to 1530 without wasting powerful drops, and therefore your next powerful drop will be even higher. So very important to understand that concept. We'll get into what opportunities there are for +0 drops and -1 and 2 drops and stuff like that in a little bit in this video. +0 meaning if you're a 1530, a +0 would be something dropping at 1530. So if your boots are 1527 and you get a +0 drop, it'd be 1530. It'd actually be +3 for your boots, but it's a +0 because it's based off of your power drop. We'll get into that in a little bit, but that's the biggest main tip in understanding power grinding efficiency. If you ever see a chance to raise your power without wasting one of your powerful drops, do it, do it. It might be long, it might be rough, but do it. Another thing I want to discuss really quick is the idea of seesawing. And this is important when you're talking about multiple characters throughout an entire week in Destiny. Seesawing is this idea of you want to do absolutely everything you can on one character before you transition to the next one, because what you're going to do is want to get your weapons on that one character as high as possible. See, I've got a 1553 on my hunter. I haven't touched my Titan or Warlock yet, but I'm going to get to pass this 1552 and this 1553 weapon over to my Titan and then over to my Warlock, and those are going to be used to capitalize my drops on those characters, raising those characters' power. If I do it correctly, my hunter's going to start the week going crazy, pass all the guns to my Titan, who's going to actually get higher power than my hunter was, who's going to then pass all that to my Warlock, who's getting a higher power than my Titan is. Imagine a seesaw. Warlock's up here, hunter's down here. Now next week is going to start, and all the pinnacles are going to be available again, and we're going to start the grind on our Warlock, and we're going to grind out the Warlock, pass all the weapons over to the Titan, pass all the weapons over to the Hunter. And what's going to happen that next week, week 2, is the seesaw is going to tip. And now the Hunter's going to be the highest power, Titan's going to stay in the middle, and Warlock, even though it started the week at highest, is going to be at the lowest. The seesaw effect is really important for maximum efficiency grinding in Destiny. You're going to want to make sure that you go as hard as you can in your first character at the beginning of each week, and then pass all the great weapons you got to your second character. Do the same thing in your second character. Pass them all to the third character. All right, if you've made it past what you've already heard, you are now entering the Witch Queen discussion. This specific Witch Queen DLC, how do you get to 1550, 1560 in the most effective manner? How do you make sure you do all the drops correctly at the right time? Let's get into that. And if you only care about the idea of power leveling and how to min-max, that first half of the video is what you need to know. The Witch Queen. There's so many things we're still learning. Keep in mind, this is Wednesday night that I'm recording this. The DLC dropped Tuesday morning. So I'm still learning some things. By the time you watch this video, maybe some more things have been discovered. Maybe some more things have changed. But here's everything I know after grinding for 30 hours or so. And keep in mind, I've got a lot of history doing this. I know how to power grind. I was world's first in a couple times in D1, made some videos back then. So I do have a good idea of what I'm talking about. Hopefully have some credibility. So first thing you want to do, you want to finish the legendary campaign if you can. It's fun, it's difficult. Finishing the legendary campaign is important because you get 1520 drops, which are huge. 1500 is where the power grind begins, but if you can get catalyst, if you can get jumped up to 1520, that is absolutely huge. So you want to finish the legendary campaign. You want to try to get up to 1520 from those pieces of gear. A little extra tip, try not to let yourself get to 1500 power before you finish the campaign. Otherwise, you're going to start getting primes to drop, and those primes will drop at 1503. Those will be completely irrelevant because you're about to get 1520 gear. So avoid hitting 1500. Keep yourself at 1490, 1495. Don't let yourself hit 1500. Then you finish the campaign, all your stuff becomes 1520. Now you'll start getting primes. It'll be 1523. Therefore, no wasted primes, which is a very good idea. Once you finish the legendary campaign and you got 1520, it's time to start doing powerfuls. The best powerful stuff to do, unfortunately, is competitive. The best thing you can possibly do is go into the Crucible Director and hop into survival. I'm at 3934, just to give you an idea. You get a lot of rank ups, which are powerful rank ups in both Valor and in Glory when you play survival. So if you're willing to play survival, you're gonna get a bunch of rank ups there. You're gonna be getting tons of rank ups at the beginning. Once you're around 3,500, you stop getting them. So you're really trying to go from 0 to 3,500. You don't have to do this first. You could do other powerfuls first if you'd like, but at some point, if you really want to min-max and get your first character as high as possible, jumping into the survival playlist is gonna be a very important thing for you to do. You're also going to be getting upgrades from Shaxx as you do this, and Shaxx gives engrams as you upgrade ranks at +5. Normal powerfuls are +3, so if you're 1520, a +3 would be 1523, but the engrams you're getting from Shaxx are +5. So it'll be a 1525, which will be a huge help in jumping up your gear and allow you to maybe fill in some gaps in between. Now, as you're grinding comp or any other powerfuls, it's going to be important to kind of check in with your power, like I suggested earlier in the video, and make sure that you don't have pieces falling too far behind. If you jump in at 1520, you start getting 1523, 1525, 1527 stuff, and you notice your cloak and your boots are still 1520, you need to stop grinding powerfuls and you need to catch those up a little bit so that your next powerfuls are more worthwhile. There are a few ways to do this. A lot of ways to do this, actually. In fact, between 1500 and 1550, all your blues are going to drop anywhere between 0 and -3. Keep in mind, I'm referring to your overall power, not including the artifact. It's so important that we recognize we're never including the artifact in any of this conversation. We're talking about base power. So if you are 1530, a 0 is a 1530. So if your boots are 1525, you get a 0 or +0. That's actually a +5 for your boots. That's huge. You need that. A -1 at 1530 be 1529, a -2, -3. You get the point. So blues literally drop anywhere between 0 and -3. So if you have a cloak that's 5 behind, you know that getting even a blue cloak to drop at a very minimum would be a -3, which would actually be +2 on your cloak. Rewind if that's confusing. I promise it makes sense. It's very complicated when you hear it for the first time, but it's actually very simple if you just slow it down and pay attention to what I'm saying. So how do you get blues? Well, there's multiple ways, and legendaries act the same. If you have any paraversal halls saved up, you can go and open those. You have a chance of getting the things you're looking for. You could also go spend strange coins to buy more paraversal halls. That's a great idea. You can do strikes, and one tip I really want to make clear is you don't want to burn any pinnacles if you're planning on trying to min-max perfectly. If you're planning on trying to min-max perfectly, you can get pinnacle drops to start dropping above the pinnacle cap. 1550 is the pinnacle cap in Witch Queen right now. I got my hunter to 1547, which allowed my +2 pinnacles to drop at 1552. So I made sure not to do any pinnacles so I could try to get to that pinnacle cap or powerful cap where the pinnacles would actually start helping me. So if you wanted to do strikes, for example, and you wanted to get blues to drop from strikes and legendaries to drop from strikes, the grind's kind of slow and tedious, but put on a subclass that isn't the weak subclass this week is Void. So you wouldn't want to be a Void subclass because you'd accidentally turn into Pinnacle. So you want to do strikes on any other subclass. You can get blues to drop at even +1. Blues in strikes, sometimes for post Crucible, sometimes for post Gambit, they could drop it +1. So blues in those weird playlists are actually anywhere between -3 and +1. Very rare. Don't specifically grind just hoping for the +1 in the one category you need, but that can be useful every once in a while. The main thing that I've been doing recently when my armor falls behind, and it worked great for me, is taking advantage of the lectern. You can go to the moon, you can go to the lectern to the left of Eris, and you can specifically farm for a specific piece of gear. And usually these aren't very hard to do. They're things like go do 3 bounties or go kill 100 fallen, which you can do in 1 lost sector. Then you go back to the lectern and you turn it in, and it's anywhere between a 0 to a -3. So if you're specifically farming for one piece of gear, you can do it at the lectern very easily. Those are some ways that you can try to catch up gear if you're noticing you're starting to fall behind. Quickly want to note a few more ways you can guarantee specific +0s and whatnot. You can go to your old season pass. I'll include the link in the description. If you go to your old season pass, you can literally pick up engrams and exotics that you maybe forgot to pick up. Those will drop as armor. They'll have a chance of being, I think they will be at your base power, so they'll be a guaranteed +0. You can also go into your current season pass and do that if you wanted to. You can also go to Hawthorne, skip that first one she has because that's a Pinnacle actually, and go and turn in the little +1s behind her. Those are +1. You don't get very many of them, but as another kind of Hail Mary last opportunity if you wanted to. You also can connect your Prime, or it's not Prime Gaming, it's your Bungie rewards, and it will give you a Cold Heart, which will be a +0. It will scale with your power. So if your energy ever falls behind and you know that you need to just get your energy to a +0 and your power will go up, you can also connect your rewards and get a Cold Heart waiting for you at, I believe, the Cryptarch, so that you can catch it up there. All right, well, I'm up Thursday morning and I'm making a little addition to the video. Thank you very much to Wavius, TNT Wavius, for making this document. But I want to go over the powerfuls that are available in Witch Queen because there's so freaking many. I've already gone over the +0s and +1s, but take a look at all the different +3s available. Read over this real quick. We got all vendor 8 bounty quests, right? For turning in 8 bounties. The Helm quest weapons. Heavy weapons, the first one is needed to unlock the weird weekly challenge thing. You got the Battleground weeklies for powerfuls. Just read through this, honestly. I hope I have it big enough on the screen. If not, I will link it in the description. But pause it here if you have any interest in actually learning what all of the +3s, +4s, +5, and Pinnacles are in Witch Queen. This is the document that's going to tell you exactly what they are. And again, if you need to read them, pause it. And also the document is sitting in my description. But it's going to tell you pretty much everything. There's a lot of Pinnacles and +5s and whatnot, and it took a long time to look over all this stuff. So here you go. All right, this video is getting a little long, getting a little out of hand. I'm sorry. Let's get back to Witch Queen specifics. Exactly what you need to know about the Witch Queen DLC and ways that you can kind of tips and tricks your way around this power grind. Here's my favorite one that I've discovered so far. There are +5 engrams. I already explained the one at Shaxx, at the Vanguard, at Shaxx, at the Gunsmith, at, I believe, Gambit Man. I haven't been to the Drifter yet, somehow, some way. I still have powerfuls and stuff to do with him, but the Drifter's got him. Even at the Helm, you can actually go to the Helm and you can start upgrading your rank here and get +5s as well. But this is kind of cheesable. +5s are huge in the power grind, the +3 grind. They're absolutely huge. You can go into Vanguard strikes and just play with friends that just go over and over and over again. You can actually go into the Nightfall and you can just do like the 1480, which are so easy, Nightfall, and just absolutely smack out XP and then turn in the +5 engrams that come from that. You want to look at a ridiculous Gunsmith cheese with me, which gives you +5s, which I've taken advantage of. You can just collect armor from your collections. It costs 500 glimmer and 5 shards, but look what happens when you delete it. You get 4 of the shards back and most of the glimmer, or half the glimmer back, and you go up Gunsmith +3. So you can literally go to your collections and just fill all of your armor with this stuff and just dismantle it to gain a ton of Gunsmith rep. This is important because if you ever find yourself with most of your armor pretty much even, you can take advantage of knowing that Shaxx or the Vanguard or the Gunsmith, who's very cheesable, give you +5s for major rank ups. And +5, they launch you up. They absolutely launch you up and make the power grind so much easier. So that is a huge tip for Witch Queen that I could not recommend more. There's also +5s available for kinetic energy and heavy through exotic quests. There's a SMG, for example, when you finish the Witch Queen campaign, you go pick this up. This is +5. You just pick it up from the table if you have the digital deluxe version or whatever. There's a grenade launcher energy, which you can do through quests. There's the Worm God rocket GL thing, which you can do through quests. Those are +5s. And because you know exactly what they're going to turn into, you can target them. Your kinetic falls 3 behind. You can be like, now's a great time to do this SMG because I know I'm -3. This is a +5. That's going to get me up an entire power. Like, it's definitely worth doing at that point. By the way, DSC, the Raid Deepstone Crypt, not supposed to be powerful, but they're currently dropping +3 powerfuls. So make sure to do the DSC at some point. Vault of Glass is, I believe, supposed to be +3 powerfuls, but it is indeed. Once you hit 1547, if you're able to do that on your first character, which you should be if you min-max effectively, you can start doing pinnacles. Here's what's cool about pinnacles. They act as +5 when you're still in the powerful range. So if you're at 1530 and you do a pinnacle, it's gonna be 1535, right? If you're 1547, your pinnacle is gonna drop at 1552. So you can actually kind of skip those last 3 levels of your powerfuls and start doing +2 pinnacles once you hit 1547. Definitely good to know that. It doesn't work where if you're 1548, it will go to 53. If you're 1549, it will go to 54. It will stay at 1552. But still worth noting. There is one very random little cheesy thing that exists currently, and I'm sure you can manipulate this pretty well if you're really like smart about it. If you're 1549, which I am, your pinnacle, your +2s drop is +3. These are dropping as 1553 for me, and I got horrible drops and got repeat on both things. So those are my two 1553s in the same damn category. Once you get 1549, definitely do some +2s because you can get some 1553s. And theoretically, like, you could probably keep yourself there, right? Like if I had a 1550 helmet, those aren't that hard to get once you're at my power. I could probably delete it to keep it at 1548 to keep myself at 1549. So my next pinnacle is 1553 instead of 1552, right? Like, you can probably figure out ways to manipulate this in silly ways, but that's a very important piece of information. Honestly, that's pretty much it. I am good at power grinding because I follow my same system every single season. I min-max efficiently. I don't waste powerful drops. I make sure to catch up my gear before I do more powerful drops. I try to find little weird exploits here and there where I can, but it's way less about that. No, I'm not just lucky. I had such a bad luck day today. I really did. I put the time in, I min-max well, and that's what I do every time. And then I'm gonna start seesawing, and I'll probably be pretty much max power for trials. But that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I really appreciate everybody in my chat who helps me with these kind of things. I know that a few people in my raid team, Lunarated, Splashy, Waviest, Lord, Gambits, kind of figure out things with me and give me some info as we go. So they're very helpful. I don't really have much else to say. Come to Twitch if you guys have any questions. Hopefully we can help answer them for you. If you want to get this awesome emblem, you can connect your Bungie account to your Twitch account really easy. Go to bungie.net, log in, go to your profile settings. On the left side, there's a linking section. Link your Bungie to your Twitch, come back to the stream, gift 2 subs. Just come to my stream. Once you've linked your accounts, gift 2 subs. You'll get this emblem, a shader as well, enhancement cores, glimmer, and in-game XP. If you enjoyed this guide and you learned something, it helped you power grind, that would be an awesome way of saying thank you. You could also just like and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you wanted to, but this would be an extra way of saying thank you. Witch Queen week, I'll be going a ridiculous number of hours. So if you're watching this week 1 of Witch Queen, I'm probably live right now unless it's middle of the night on the West Coast in the US. Come to the stream, say what up, say you came from YouTube. I really hope I didn't miss anything in this video, but it is 30 hours of streaming out of the last 36. I am exhausted, and I tried to think of everything I could. Go to your darn destinations. When you see yellow tabs, those little yellow sparkles, that means there's powerfuls or pinnacles available. Do them. Progress your way through quests. Often at the end of quests, there are powerful and pinnacles available. Do that. Enjoy the Witch Queen. It's a freaking blast. Make sure that you don't skip out on Legendary campaign because 1520 gear is so important in this entire situation. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you on Twitch, hopefully. And if not, I'll see you on YouTube. Thank you and have a good one.